Hello friends, welcome to my kitchen. First, we take 6 peeled potatoes and place them in a saucepan. Now we pour in enough water to cover the potatoes and sprinkle in some salt. Stir it gently with a spatula. Cover the pan with a lid and leave it to cook for about 30 minutes until the potatoes are tender. While the potatoes cook, we move on to our beef. Here we take 2 pounds, or about 900 grams, of beef. Friends, please write in the comments what country and city are you from. It's very nice to know that we can communicate all over the world. And cut it into small cubes, about 2 to 3 centimeters each. If you have any questions about the recipe, write to me and I will answer as soon as I see it in the comments. Now we heat a bit of olive oil in a frying pan. Once the oil is hot, we add the beef in a single layer and fry it until all sides are browned. This step locks in all the flavor, making the beef extra delicious. Friends, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about new similar recipes. Once it's ready, we remove the beef from the pan with a spoon and set it aside. Next, we take a pack of bacon, about 10 to 12 strips, and cut it into small pieces. Friends, I'd be happy if you could give this video a like, as it's the best reward from you. We fry the bacon in the same pan where we cooked the beef, letting it soak up all those tasty flavors. We fry it until it's crispy and golden, and the kitchen starts to smell amazing. Now we chop 1 onion finely. add it to the pan with the bacon. We stir it, letting it soften and turn slightly golden. Then we chop 1 carrot. Add that in too. Next, we grate 2 cloves of garlic on a mini grater. Add them to the pan. The aroma at this point is just heavenly. We continue by finely chopping 1 red bell pepper. Toss it into the pan. Then we chop 8 mushrooms. Add them too, giving the stew that deep, earthy flavor. Finally, we chop a bunch of rosemary. Add that for a wonderful fragrant touch. For a bit of heat, we chop 3 chili peppers. Add them to the pan. This is completely optional, depending on how spicy you like your food. Now we stir everything together. And add 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, which will give the stew a rich, deep flavor. We season with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Lastly, we toss in 2 bay leaves to add even more depth to the dish. Now we return the beef to the pan and pour in 2 cups or 500 milliliters of beef broth. We stir everything together. Cover the pan with a lid and let it simmer for about 40 minutes. This gives the flavors time to develop, and the beef will become tender and juicy. While the stew simmers, let's check on the potatoes. They should be soft by now. We poke them with a knife. Perfect. We drain the water, and now we mash them. We add half a stick or 60 grams of butter. Pour in 100 milliliters of cream. A teaspoon of salt goes in as well. And we mash everything until the potatoes are smooth and creamy. Finally, we chop a bunch of green onions. And stir them into the potatoes, giving them a fresh, vibrant flavor. Now, let's check on the stew. It's been simmering, and the sauce has thickened beautifully. The beef is tender, and the smell is simply irresistible. To finish, we chop a bunch of fresh parsley. and sprinkle it over the stew. This adds a pop of color and a fresh herby flavor. It's time to plate everything. We start by placing a generous spoonful of mashed potatoes in the center of the plate. We use the back of the spoon to create a little well in the middle. This is where the delicious stew will sit. Next, we carefully spoon the beef and vegetable mixture into the well, making sure to get a little of everything, some beef, vegetables, and plenty of that rich sauce. And there you have it, our hearty beef stew with creamy mashed potatoes. The beef is so tender, the flavors are rich and comforting, and the mashed potatoes pair perfectly with that beautiful sauce. I hope this recipe brings warmth and joy to your table. If you try it, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how it turned out for you. But that is not all. Don't turn off the video. I have a second equally delicious recipe for you. First, fill a saucepan with water. Cover it with a lid and wait until it boils. Add 1 teaspoon of salt. And add your Chinese noodles. Cook them according to the package instructions until tender. Next, take a bunch of green onions. Cut them in half along the middle. Slice the white bases lengthwise. Place them on a plate. Now crush 4 large garlic cloves with a knife. Chop them finely. Put the garlic on a small plate. Take 1 white onion and chop it into thick slices. Friends, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about new similar recipes. Separate the layers. Place them on the plate with the white bases of the green onions. cut 1 yellow pepper into strips. Place it on the plate. Then cut of 1 red pepper into strips. Put it on the plate with the yellow pepper. Next, slice 1 carrot into thin strips. Place it on the plate with the papers. Take a piece of beef, about 1 pound or 450 grams. Slice it into thin strips. place the strips in a bowl. Add 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 5 tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix gently until the beef is well coated. Add 5 tablespoons of olive oil. Mix everything. Let the beef marinate for about 10 minutes. Drizzle a little olive oil over a hot frying pan. Add the white onions and the white bases of the green onions. Stir them. Add the red and yellow peppers and the carrot strips. Mix it well. Sprinkle with 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, stir fry until the vegetables are tender but still crisp. Return the cooked vegetables to the plate. In the same pan, add another drizzle of olive oil. Add the beef strips in a single layer. Cook, stirring occasionally until browned. Add the minced garlic. Pour in 1 cup of white wine. Cook until the wine reduces slightly. Add 3 more tablespoons of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 3 ounces or 100 milliliters of water. Simmer for 5-7 minutes or until beef is tender. Add 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Then cut the uncooked green tops into smaller pieces. Stir them into the pan. Add the sautéed vegetables. Mix thoroughly. Sprinkle 3 tablespoons of sesame seeds over the top for a nutty flavor. To serve, arrange the noodles on a plate. If you like, make a small well in the center. Spoon the stir-fried beef and vegetables over the noodles, letting the sauce drip through. There, you have a nice, colorful plate of stir-fried beef with vegetables and noodles. I hope this recipe brings as much joy into your family as it did mine. And now, let me show you my third beef recipe for today. First, let's take 6 peeled potatoes and place them in a pan. Fill the pan with water, just enough to cover the potatoes. And add a pinch of salt. Give it a little stir. Turn on the heat to medium-high and leave the potatoes to cook for about 30 minutes. Then cover the pan with a lid. While the potatoes are cooking, take a frying pan and pour in a bit of olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom. Now, finely chop 1 onion. Add it to the pan. Cook it over medium heat until it becomes soft and slightly golden. Next, finely chop 1 carrot. Add it to the frying pan with the onions. Stir them together, letting the flavors combine. Now, grate 2 cloves of garlic using a mini grater. Add them to the pan, stir gently, and let that wonderful aroma fill your kitchen. Now, take 1 red bell pepper and chop it finely. Friends, if you enjoy my content, subscribe to the channel to receive notifications about new similar recipes. Add it to the frying pan. Stir everything together so the bell pepper blends well with the other vegetables. Finally, chop 6 to 8 mushrooms into small pieces. And also add them to the frying pan. Stir everything together and let it cook for about 5 minutes, allowing all the vegetables to soften. Next, add 3 tablespoons of tomato paste to the pan. This will give our dish a nice, rich flavor. Stir the paste into the vegetables until it's evenly distributed. Then add 3 tablespoons of flour and stir it well. This step is important to avoid any lumps and to thicken our stew later. Next, cut 1 pack of bacon into small strips. Add it to another small frying pan. Place it on medium heat and fry for about 5 to 10 minutes until it turns crispy and golden. The bacon will add a lovely smoky flavor to our dish. Once it's done, remove it from the heat and add the bacon to the pan with the vegetables. Give everything a good stir so the flavors start to blend together. Now it's time to cook the beef. Take 1 pound or about 900 grams of beef and cut it into small cubes around bite-sized pieces. Pour a bit of olive oil into a large frying pan and heat it up. Once the oil is hot, add the beef cubes in a single layer. Fry the beef until it's browned on all sides. This will take about 8 to 10 minutes. Make sure you don't overcrowd the pan, as we want each piece to cook nicely. When the beef is beautifully browned, season it with 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of paprika. Give it a good stir to make sure all the pieces are coated with the spices. Once done, remove the beef from the heat and add it to the pan with the vegetables and bacon. Mix everything together so all the flavors are well combined. Now comes the delicious part, creating that rich, savory sauce. Pour 2 cups or 500 milliliters of red wine into the pan with the beef and vegetables. Then add 1 cup or 250 milliliters of water. Give everything a gentle stir to combine and bring the mixture to a gentle simmer. Lower the heat, cover the pan with a lid, and let it cook for about 40 minutes. While our stew is simmering, let's finish up the mashed potatoes. By now, the potatoes should be ready. If they're soft and easy to cut through, they're done. Drain the water from the pan. Now add half a stick of butter, or about 60 grams. Pour in about 100 milliliters of milk, and start mashing the potatoes with a masher or a fork until they're smooth and creamy. If you prefer your mashed potatoes a bit fluffier, feel free to add a bit more milk. Next, finely chop a bunch of green onions. This will add a lovely touch of freshness and flavor. Mix everything together thoroughly so the green onions are evenly distributed throughout the potatoes. Take a bunch of fresh parsley and chop it finely. Add the parsley to the stew. The parsley will add a touch of color and a burst of freshness to the dish. And give it one last stir. By now, your beef should be tender and the sauce should have thickened up nicely. Now it's time to bring everything together. Take a plate and spoon a generous serving of the mashed potatoes right in the center. Use the back of the spoon to create a little well. In the middle, this is where our delicious beef stew will sit. Next, carefully spoon the beef and vegetable mixture into the well you've created in the mashed potatoes. Make sure you get a bit of everything, some beef, some of that rich sauce, and a few vegetables in each spoonful. And there you have it, a wonderful, hearty beef stew with mashed potatoes, perfect for a cozy family dinner. And don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to hear how this turned out for you. Until next time, happy cooking.